Hello everyone, good morning, welcome back. So as I mentioned on an earlier video, I just wanted to do kind of a get ready with me, a really chatty talk one, let you know where I've been for the last little bit. I will be honest, I am so sleepy, which I will talk about, but hopefully I don't like fall asleep on you guys. And yeah, I just want to kind of chat, let you know what's going on. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will let you know what we're focusing on. I decided this year I really want to add a big palette to try to pan. I don't expect to use it all up because I have so many palettes, but at the same time, because I'm going back to work, I think it's going to make my life a little easier. In some mornings, sometimes it takes me so long to get ready because I can't decide which one I want to use. And I did a vote on Instagram and Modern Renaissance won. So I'm going to be doing my look with this today. And that's going to be what I'm going to be working on, trying to pan this year, which is also going to help me on mornings. I just can't think straight, but I still want to put on my makeup because it wakes me up in the morning. So I know to reach for that one. So let's get started. I'm going to kind of organize everything because I don't have that done yet. And then I will be back and yeah, we'll put on makeup and talk. All right, so I got my coffee, needed to do that, and kind of set up. I think I got it figured out. I don't know. Again, bear with me. If you've watched, you know that this is not a big production. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. I was encouraged to do it for so long and finally decided to. I'm literally just doing this with a phone. So yeah, here we go. So I already filled in my eyebrows, put my eye primer on and my face primer. And we're going to get started. So lately I've actually been doing my eyes first. So that is what I'm going to do. My whole vanity is such a mess right now. So hopefully I don't waste too much time just trying to find my brushes that I want. I have no clue which direction I want to go. Yeah, I think I'll probably do more pinkies. So I'm going to start with this shade here. Most of this, I'm not going to really talk about what exactly I'm doing because I want to talk about where I've been, what's been going on in my life. And so most of the stuff I'm just going to put on and go like that. So anyways, all right. So, goodness, where have I been? So for a little while, I was honestly just much too tired to video. I usually try to film on the weekends, and we were, oddly enough, Elliot had been going through a rough time with starting to wake up a bunch at night, a bunch, and usually he only did that if he was teething or something was bothering him, and he comfort nurses, so I was letting him. So then we went to his 9-month evaluation, and the doctor asked if he wakes up a bunch at night. And I said, yeah, he didn't used to, but yes, he does now. And he asked if I nursed him every time. And I said, yeah, I do. And he said, really, you should stop. He said, that's why he's waking up. He said, really, he needs his sleep and you need your sleep. He doesn't actually need to nurse. He eats enough during the day. So really, it's just a habit essentially now. So my husband and I decided that weekend, here we go. So what the government of Canada actually puts out, like a bunch of books they give you, and what they recommend when they wake up at night is to go in there, give them about 10 minutes. If they're really upset, then obviously go. But and then I feel like the color is really not showing up here. I don't know. So sorry for that, guys. I feel like the color is really washed out or like grungy looking, but in real life it's not. So anyways, and then go in, comfort them, rub their belly, say I love you, time to go back to sleep, and give them about 5 minutes and then go back. It only took one night of doing that. And hold on just a second, I'm gonna kind of play with the lighting some and see if I can figure some stuff out. And if not, then this is what it's gonna look like. Just a second. I think this is actually gonna be better. I lowered my light and then I opened the window so there's more natural light in here. So I think that is gonna look better. So Anyways, so yeah, he actually started sleeping through the night. You would think that I would be more rested, but I wasn't. I was exhausted. I was still waking up every few hours. And then it was like my body all of a sudden needed to catch up on all the sleep that I wasn't getting. So I was just like, I was wiped. I don't know how else to say it other than I was just completely wiped. I really was. Looking for a specific brush. Where are you, brush? So yeah, I was on the weekends and during the week. Honestly, I couldn't even film during the week like I am now. It's Tuesday. I'm planning on posting this today too, but anyways, I think I'm gonna go in with I think I'm gonna go real cranberry and do this love letter. So I think like every time he napped, I napped. I couldn't, it was like my body was just crashing. Like all the adrenaline I had been using, it was finally saying, okay, this is enough. We're getting sleep. It's time to catch up. So I was too tired. And then on top of that, while he's sleeping through the night, he is and has still been, he wakes up at 5:30 in the morning now instead of 6:30. And that little bit of extra wake time is tiring. I think it just hit a weird time in my sleep cycle. And as much as I was used to waking up, 2 or 3 times a night, up to 4 times a night on really bad nights, I still got to sleep in until usually close to 6:30, but now it's 5:30 and it doesn't matter. I have tried all kinds of different things. We have tried doing the go in again and comfort him. We have tried the leaving him in the room till 6 regardless. I've tried nursing him and laying back down. Sometimes they would randomly work, but it's been a couple months and I think his clock is just set to 5:30 now. Really, if I think about it, it's been probably pretty much since time change that has been a thing. So that does make sense. And we put him to bed early. We put him to bed at 6:15. We put him to bed at 7. We put him to bed a little after 7. It doesn't seem to matter. So it is what it is. I'm getting better with it now. But so that was some of what was happening. Another thing was I was actually, while on maternity leave, I was recruited by a retail company. I will not say the name just because I think that's unprofessional. But they had contacted me about an interest in an assistant manager position at their store. And let me tell you, if I told you who it was, you'd say, oh my gosh, that's perfect. It felt right. It felt perfect. Anyone who knew, which I tried not to tell many people, the people who did know were like, it's meant for you. That's your job. So through that whole interview process, I wasn't really sure what was happening. It was really a month-long process because I went through 4 interviews actually. And so on the weekends when I wasn't completely exhausted, we were trying to do some family stuff because we weren't sure if I was going to lose my weekend soon. And my husband was going to take the rest of the leave, all of that. We had all talked to everyone, figured it out. So anyways, after my 3rd interview, they had actually taken the post down and said that the position would be filled. And I knew I was getting a final interview. And that's what it was called. My 4th interview was called the final interview. And everything was very promising. When I was done my 3rd interview, she showed me around the store. She showed me, some of the different things that they do. We talked about the company in general. So I was really feeling very positive about it. And then when I went in for the 4th interview, my brain just wasn't working. Hello, being on maternity leave for having been off work for a year. I think, not to make an excuse, but I do think that was a big issue. I'm going to go in, I think, with this shade here. I do think that that was a big issue. Unfortunately for me, my brain was just, it was an okay interview, but it wasn't great. And I had that feeling when I left of uncertainty. I just wasn't sure. So close to a week went, or not a week, a few days went by, and I hadn't heard anything, which they told me I wouldn't until the next week. And then I noticed that the position had been reposted, and I was just like, I was more devastated than I expected to be, honestly. I really was. I was upset. I knew that I bombed the interview, and I was frustrated because really I would have done really well. But I didn't have some of the right answers because my brain just wasn't in work mode, if that makes sense. There's like a weird shadow. The way the sun's shining, I have blinds on my face. Hold on. There. That's better. Yeah, it just, I wasn't, I didn't do, my brain just wasn't in work mode, if that makes sense. It wasn't. And I do think everything happens for a reason. And it left me with good contacts within the company. We talked about staying on their list for future opportunities. Granted, the opportunities would probably be lower than what I'm actually qualified for, because I have been in that position for that size retail, that size volume, all of that before. So it was well within my qualifications. So what is going on now? There's something casting a weird shadow. Oh, shit. I think it's where the sun's hitting. Go figure. Well, I have a weird shadow on my face, guys. If it bothers you, it bothers you. So anyways, I'm just going to take a clean brush and just kind of blend, although it actually blended really well, of course, because this palette's amazing. And it kind of blends itself. So yeah, that's all I'm doing there. And then I'm going to take my finger and use this shade on my lid. You do not have to use your finger with this. I just do. I don't know. Maybe I'll try with a brush first and just see how it goes. And maybe I won't need to use my finger because my fingers aren't, I'm kind of clumsy with my fingers sometimes, so they're not super precise. If I can find the brush I want. So yeah, so it was frustrating for me to have those feelings, but it is what it is. I believe everything happened for a reason, and I think I was just kind of trying to process it all for a little bit too. So I did end up getting contacted by them. They contacted me about it, and they were very nice about it. Again, we have decided to keep lines of communication open, and that was with the recruiter and the store manager. So hopefully, I'm looking forward to it. But at the same time, with that said, now that it's almost time for me to go back to work, I am actually really excited to go back. So again, things happen for a reason. You know, it's hard because I had even discussed with the store manager, we had even talked about the possibility of me taking over the company within a few years, or the store within a few years, so she can move back to her home with the company. And she had moved from a different province. And yeah, it was very promising. And again, it felt right. But like I said, things happen for a reason. And for whatever reason, my brain wasn't working. And yeah, and maybe it was, you know, just maybe really deep down, I was nervous about working shift work again. Maybe I really wanted to keep, you know, working through the weeks and have nights and weekends with my husband and my son. And yeah, so anyways, that's part of where I've been too. So I feel like I've taken so long just doing my eyeshadow. That is what it is so far. I'm just going to put a little bit of tempera up in my brow bone area. So yeah, that's that. And then on top of that, there was Christmas, and I mean, New Year's doesn't really do anything for us because I think I was in bed at like 9 o'clock. But Christmas, holidays, all of that coming, that was busy. We had family get-togethers, we had different things going on, and Chris's brother came to visit and go in to see his family, so a lot going on. So really, I think that's the majority of where I've been. I'm going to start my foundation. I do want to mention, I had posted that I had used this. I had started using this, posted that on Instagram, and I said I don't get the hype over it. I'm not a big fan of it, but I think I've kind of figured out some ways that I like it best. Is if you press it into the skin instead of buffing it. I love using a brush, so lately I've been really like buffing my foundations to get like a better coverage. But this particular foundation, whether you use a sponge or a brush, I just find it seems to work better if I press it in, and I'll show you. I just like, I press it like this all into my skin, and I just find it looks nicer. Not because it's a better coverage. Like this is like probably a pretty true medium coverage. And I didn't expect it to be a full coverage. That's not anything it claims to be. It's not, I mean, usually when you see like a healthy skin type foundation, you don't expect it to be. And part of the reason it makes your skin look like that is because it lets your natural skin shine through a little more. Another thing I found is that if I don't set my entire face, it seems to do better as well. So I'm not going to set it. I will probably just set my T-zone today. And I find it just looks better. It has, I guess, the glow that it's meant to have, and maybe that's part of it. I've been trying to kind of play with different ways of putting on foundation. Like, do I always need to set it? Do I always need to do some of those steps? And I guess I'm figuring out the answer is no. If you had watched one of my videos not even that long ago, I talked about how I bake. I haven't done that in so long. I use like a heavy coating of powder. I haven't been doing that. So use the Instant Age Rewind under my eyes. It's just great concealer. I mean, I don't know if it is rewinding my eyes, but you know, at my age, because I do have lines under my eyes, but whatever, we'll go with it. But it is nice and emollient, and I have found, especially recently, I just prefer the look of my under eyes if it's more of an emollient texture versus a dry. I've been using eye creams a lot more in the last couple of months, and yeah, I just find that my eyes just look better, even if maybe it looks like there's more of a dark circle, but I like the look of it better with a more moisturizing formula. All right, I am gonna set under my eyes with this, and then I'll probably use that as the bronzer as well. And I kind of want to play around with not setting under my eyes, but I've been scared. I've been scared to do that. It actually took a lot to not set my entire face. Because I was just nervous, but it worked well. It actually worked well. And the foundation actually lasted longer when I didn't set it, which to me is like the most odd thing. But I am going to just set my T-zone with the Rimmel Stay Matte. I love this powder, but man, I wish they had a better packaging. And this is just a translucent shade. There's not really a shade to it, but it's a translucent. So there we go. That's all I'm doing for setting. All right, so now I'm going to use the bronzer that is in this. All right, so yeah, my son has started daycare. We ended up we've been on the wait list forever, and a spot opened up for January 7th, but we are going to visit my family the 12th through the 26th. So we were honestly a little stressed financially about that many extra weeks. I mean, we wanted him to start the end of January, and then I was going to start back to work maybe a week or two later. But, you know, it is what it is. So this week we visited yesterday. I think I'm going to leave him for a couple hours today. And then we are going to, I'm not going to leave him tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to snowstorm. And then I'll play it by ear Thursday, Friday to see how much we've got done. So then we're going to go visit my family. And then what blush do I want to use? I think I'll just use my go-to, the Balm Hot Mama. So then we're going to go visit my family. And then that week we get back, he's going to go, we'll go for a couple hours Monday, probably a half day Tuesday, and then full day Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I'm going to start back to work on the next Monday. So give myself a little blush all over. So yeah, so that's going to be the plan, which is exciting. He really enjoyed it yesterday, but I'm curious to see how he does today with me not there. He is still such a comfort nurser, and he nurses all the time when I'm around. All the time. And it's kind of exhausting. It's sweet, but also tiring. So yeah, there's that. But I'm excited for him to be around other kids. He really liked that. He's a very social person, which giving my husband and I is not a surprise, but he loves being around people. He takes a little bit to warm up to new people, and I think that's mainly just because he hasn't been around a bunch of new people a bunch. But once he does, he just loves it. And part of it's just that he is a big observer. He loves to observe. So he's not overwhelmed by the people, but he just likes to watch them, if that makes sense. All right, I'm going to line my under eye. I'm just going to go in with that Love Letter shade, the really cranberry one, and just line under. So yeah, that's what our life's been lately. Anything exciting going on in your life? Tell me. I'd love to chat about that. I'm really hoping that I can kind of get this back going again, because I enjoy it. I know it's a small channel. It's, you know, I don't really edit my stuff usually. It's basic. It's with my phone. It's like old school YouTube videos. I know that. And that's not most people's cup of tea. However, I'll be honest, most of the big YouTubers, I don't even know who they are, and I don't watch them. I remember when the James Charles palette came out just recently. I didn't know who he was. I don't watch James Charles. Yeah, I am impressed by him. Look at his age and look how much he's done. That's freaking amazing. But it wasn't to me what it was to some people, because I didn't know who he was. Let's check it. Yeah, that looks fine to me. And then I'm going to take the Tempura again and just put it in the inner corner of my eye. This is such a good shade. Like, it's such a soft, subtle. It's like you don't realize it's got a bit of a sheen to it, but it does. And it's really nice. I've also kind of decided, I filmed a video last night, which will go up while I'm gone. I've decided I'm going to try to do that a bit more, is film at night. I'm excited about that. All right, I feel like this is taking forever. Okay, I'm going to stop this, get my mascara on, because you don't need to watch me put on mascara, and then I'll be right back. So I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So I put my mascara on, I did my face spray, and as I was saying is I recently got the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Matte. I like the setting spray. I like how it kind of instantly takes the powderiness away from my makeup, but I don't find it helps my makeup last as long as some setting sprays. And also the other one that I got. There's a coconut one or something. I don't know. It's in one of my empties videos, and I find it actually makes my makeup last longer, but that one I don't think does. So I feel like my face looks, if you look right on, my face looks like orange, but if you actually look here, it's not. So just so I am in a glossy kind of mood, so I'm going to use this Buxom White Russian and put that on my lips. And there we go. That is my finished look. I don't know if that's going to be too nude. I don't think so. I think it's good for today. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I look forward to doing more videos again. I hope that you enjoy them as well, and yeah, let me know. Are you doing any project pans? Are there any palettes that you're really working on that you want to focus on? Or is there a go-to palette when you know you need to be quick but you still want to do makeup? Let me know. I'd love to hear. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye!